So Gary, I've known you since the late 90s, I reckon.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, well, we met on a shoot, obviously, for a magazine. Can you remember which one it was?
Yeah, I do. It was for Loaded magazine, and it had not launched that long, had it?
No.
And it was really super cool, Loaded, back then.
Yeah, it wasn't too racy. It was actually quite stylish, wasn't it? It wasn't all the boobs that it turned out to be. I mean, it got a bit racy later on, but I remember it being a really good shoot, and I remember being really impressed with your makeup. You are good, darling.
I tried to be.
No, you are. You're amazing. So when did you start? Because that wasn't you at the beginning of your career, though, was it? You've been going a while when I met you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing makeup for about 25 years.
So how did you get to find out that was your niche, that was what you were going to do?
Well, I mean, I'm from Yorkshire, and my family's working class, and I just knew when I was growing up that I wanted to move to a city, because whatever I wanted to do, it wasn't going to happen in Doncaster, where I'm from.
Stuff does happen in Doncaster.
No, I know it does.
Not necessarily what you want.
Yeah. I don't know, I just felt a little bit different, and I just was drawn to the bright lights of the city. So I thought, I'm going to move to London. I'm going to make it my ambition to do that. At the time, the coal mines were closing in Doncaster. It was like that last year, and they wanted to put like that last bit of oomph into the coal mine, see if they could resurrect it, which obviously they couldn't.
Yes, so your first job was, you painted mannequins, didn't you?
I did. So I moved to London, and I actually was with my girlfriend then at the time. And on my way to the advertising agency, I saw an advert in a shop window saying that we were thinking about taking on new people to assist people who painted mannequins.
Right, okay.
So I thought, maybe I could do this. I've got a great portfolio of faces and things. I know I can paint and whatever. So I went in and I saw this lady, and she hired me, and I did that for a few months. And that's really where I learned about perspective, contour.
Contouring is so massive now because of Kim Kardashian, but you've been doing it, and movie stars were doing it in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. It's just become a big thing now, but it's a real skill because people get it so wrong.
But the thing is as well, I mean, you have to remember, the real artists of contour are drag queens.
Yeah.
Because they have to put in and make things look like they're there when they're not actually there, to create a cheekbone, to soften a jawline, or to add a jawline. So yeah, it's been around for years. So I've been doing contour forever, but obviously with the whole Kim K thing, it's all been bought.
Well, what inspires you though? Because you've completely, you're skilled, you know what you're doing, but what makes you want to continue in the business? I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah.
When you look at somebody's face, what do you go for first? What are you looking at? When you do me, for example, what do you think? She needs help with this, or I need to enhance?
Well, you don't actually need a lot of help,
Well,
you know how gorgeous you are. You are a very good canvas to work with, I have to say. I'm very fortunate. So my job's very easy.
Thanks.
It's just it's almost like a paint job in a way. It's like making good of the face. So whatever's there, I'm just going to bring out the features and make them, enhance them, or play them back, or whatever, and just making a woman look and feel as beautiful as possible. That's really what I want to do. That's the aim of my job.
Is it a real pain though when you sort of go out with people just on a social level, and do women around the table get really paranoid about the makeup? I hate meeting you sometimes in the pub when I've done my own makeup, because I see you like, you're checking me out thinking.
I don't need to do it.
Sometimes, and this really does happen, I'll say to you, don't I?
Stop it, Gary.
Are you actually listening to what I'm saying? Because you're just checking my face out. Can you please stop it? And you're like that.
No, I don't mean to do it. And you know what? It's very rare I would ever say anything to anyone. I mean, it probably, even if someone had really terrible makeup, unless they asked me for their opinion, I wouldn't force my opinion, because I'm a great believer that everybody's an individual and everyone needs to express themselves in whatever they want to with makeup. That's the whole thing about makeup. That's why it's so fun. But yeah, I mean, I do obviously have a little look and see, and with you, but like I say, with you, it's very easy. I mean, there's not a lot to make better, if you know what I mean.
That's very nice of you. You don't really have any hard and fast rules about makeup either, do you? Because I know people are very particular about saying women shouldn't wear red lips past the age of, I think it might even be as low as 30. I mean, there's all these things. Even they do it about hair, don't they? What do you feel? Are there any rules that you should stick to?
In general, I would like to say there's no rules with makeup, because it's like I say, I always say to people when they say to me they're in their 50s or late 40s, and they're saying, oh God, can I really wear a red lip now? Can I really wear a smoky eye? it's all about how you apply it. It's all about the technique. Anybody can wear a smoky eye. Anyone can wear a red lip. It's just the way you do it. It just might change slightly from how you did it when you were 18. You know, you might have to think about things on the face that change.
Yeah.
Your pigmentation of the skin.
But also, am I right in saying even the texture of your foundation and stuff like that needs to change? You need to evolve. You can't stick with the makeup that you were using in your 20s. But colour-wise, you can experiment. But actually, textures of foundations.
Things change. You know, as you get older, it's like on anybody, you know, your skin changes. You know, you have to take that into consideration. And unfortunately, it's people who don't take that into consideration. That's where we have the no-nos and the crosses and the what are you thinking? But
but that's why Simply Glamorous, your book, is so amazing, because you actually do teach people how to apply for all age groups. They're not all models in there. I'm very lucky enough to be in there, and we did the smoky eye section, which I love. I love a rock chick look. But it's got all your mum's in there as well, isn't she?
You know what? Because when they approached me to do the book, originally it was just going to be all beautiful models, just showcasing beautiful makeup. And I just thought to myself, well, hang on a minute. If people want that, they can just buy Cosmopolitan or Glamour or, you know, all those sort of magazines. Let's make it a little bit different. Let's use everyday people. So I do 15 makeovers on women of all different age and ethnicities. And throw a few people in there who might be well known, who are well known obviously. And they can inspire everybody out there, but do step by step, show everybody that everything's achievable.
I feel that my look has changed dramatically since I met you as well.
In what way?
Well, it's sexier. But, I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't liked looking sexy in the past. I mean, gosh, I was in men's magazines a lot back in the day. So I'd like to think I've always been sexy. But I did a lot of daytime TV, and I noticed that my look did change when I was doing that. And then I started working with you, and you've just got my mojo back with that, I think. And so one, thank you. But why do you? Do you look at me? You look at women and think, how do I make them look sexy? I mean, it's quite.
Yeah, I think so. I like to. I guess I like to do that. Yeah, I like to push the buttons a little bit more probably than a lot of makeup artists. I think sometimes people can be very safe with their look, and they get stuck in a rut, and they, like you say, they have the same look forever.
Oh, I was totally stuck in a rut before I met up with you again, because obviously I worked with you in magazines, but now I work with you regularly. And I mean, God, I've done calendars with you, and it's so funny. On some of the shots, I'll have this massive hairpiece, and he goes, "You always say to me, trust me, it's going to look amazing on the shot." It's just like this uber glamorous, sexy version of myself, and you've really got me to embrace that a bit, which is cool.
Yeah, I think everybody can embrace it. It's just being confident and being comfortable, isn't it? And then when you think to yourself, oh God, I can't possibly do that, and then when you do it, and you think, oh my God, that looks really good. And that's the good thing about makeup and hair and things. It pushes people and it makes them experiment and try new things and you know.
Can I just ask you this as well, because obviously I was modelling before as a TV presenter, and I was doing that for a good 10 years, and I was from the old school back in the day where a photographer actually had to know how to light a room and would shoot Polaroid, and we'd all look round a Polaroid, and then they'd have to change the light, because whilst they were shooting they didn't know what they were getting digital age. Do you think people are less skilled now because they've gotten lazy? Because back in the day, you had to understand it because you had to take that risk that day.
I don't know if lazy is the right word. Sometimes, believe me, I've called lots of people lazy when I've been frustrated by what you've just said. But I think with technology and things have just changed. And in a way, you sort of have to embrace that, otherwise you do get left behind as well. But I do get very frustrated when people totally rely on Photoshop or you know, if I'm working with a hairdresser and I'll just say, can you just sort that hair out, you know, we're going to shoot now. Oh, don't worry, that's the worst thing you can say to me, because that just enrages me. I'm like, no, I really, especially if it's my shoot, I'll say, no, I really want you to go in there and sort this out now. Because when I first started, you know, we had a Polaroid, which I really miss, the Polaroids.
Yeah, I love that.
And we got it, we had to get it right. Don't get me wrong, in another way it's great because you've got it on the screen now and you know when you've got it, so it's quicker.
It's quicker.
But you miss that value, don't you, of being able to have that, just to want to get it right and perfect. That sometimes does go by the by now.
Everybody Anybody can be a model now, can't they? Because of all Photoshop and stuff, and it's sort of irritating because back in the day you had to be beautiful. There was no two ways about it. And one spot and you might be never working for a magazine again. But it's a very different world now.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is.
Oh, thanks for the chat, Gary. That's been brilliant, and good luck with the book. I know it's doing a storm, but I'm sure it'll sell millions more.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. It's brilliant. Thank you.